Hey guys, PrinceofMacedon here, doing a Napoleon Total War Spectator battle. This isn't my battle, I'm just spectating, but I will be providing commentary. Anyways, this is a Prussia versus Great Britain battle, and in command of Great Britain is Cuff, and in command of Prussia is Spartan 14. We are going to look at the army of Great Britain first, commanded by Cuff. So, this will be really fast. He has 4 squadrons of lifeguards, 4 units of riflemen, 2 teams of 6-pounder horse artillery, 4 units of foot infantry, 4 units of fencible infantry, and 1 general staff squadron. So that is the army of Cuff. And, oh, by the way, this is the Waterloo map, in case you're wondering. So, it's a pretty neat looking battlefield. But let's go look at the Prussian army commanded by Spartan 14. And just for the sake of time, I'm going to fast forward again. So he has 6 teams of skirmishers. Most of them are Silesian Schützen, and then he has a few Jaeger out there. Then he also has 4 squadrons of cuirassiers, and I believe 7 units of musketeers. It's like 6 or 7, maybe 8. And then he has a general unit on horseback. Alright, so the battle starts, so I can stop fast forwarding here, and I'm going to get into the actual conflict here. So, yeah, both sides are going to rush towards each other, and looks like Spartan 14 is going to keep his skirmishers in the front, which is something that most people do online. And those are Cuff's 6-pounders. He's going to unlimber them so he can get them firing at those Prussians. Alright, so here, what's his face? Cuff made a huge mistake. He started advancing right into those skirmishers, and I think he should have brought out his riflemen to fight these skirmishers instead of advancing his whole line like that, because he just lost a crap load of dudes. And plus, you can see that Cuff's army, they're not very spread out, so they took an extra amount of damage from the skirmishers commanded by Spartan 14. Alright, so looks like Spartan's going to do some action on the right wing here, and he's also going to do some action on his left wing as well, but he's going to keep his center back to trade fire with Cuff's British army. And once again, Cuff's going to advance forward here again, but it's probably not too advisable. If you're going to keep advancing in the face of musket fire, then that means you're going to be charging, but if you're going to charge, then you should be running. In any case, Spartan's going to charge into Cuff's right and left wings here. So he's going to try to overpower these wing units, and then hopefully envelop the center of the British line. And you can see those are cuirassiers. Yeah, it looks like both sides just brought one type of horse units. Cuff brought all lifeguards, and Spartan 14 just brought all cuirassiers. But yeah, this is the action on both wings here. You can see all kinds of crazy action here. It's really crazy. And if you saw those stars in the back, that was that came from the Prussian units, and that was Spartan 14 trying to rally his men. And look at those horse units pushing those dudes on the ground. They're literally mopping the floor with those enemy units. All right. All kinds of flank action happening here. It's pretty crazy right now. Alright, looks like Cuff is bending his right flank back in order to prevent himself from being outflanked. And over on his left flank, he's being attacked by Spartan's cuirassiers. And he's attacking this line pretty well with his cuirassiers, but the line behind these guys aren't square. So he can't go any further than that line. If he does, he'll lose a lot of horses. Alright, looks like Spartan's losing some of his skirmishers, but not enough to make too much of a difference. But in the very back, you can see Cuff's troops are routing as well. And Spartan's making some line adjustments here. And what's this? Looks like on the left flank, Spartan 14 has broken through Cuff's flank here, so he's going to just drive right through, and he can potentially like pincer Cuff's right flank. But Cuff sees what's happening, so he's going to withdraw his troops and form a new line. But during his withdrawal, he's going to get harassed by Spartan's cuirassiers. and it looks like Spartan doesn't want him to reform his line further in the rear. And seeing the danger of the cav, Cuff is going to form his guys into square, which will pretty much prevent his guys from retreating any further. So it looks like Cuff is in some serious trouble here. And at some point during this fight, Spartan 14 detached one of his cuirassiers to attack the 6-pounders, and this is located near La Haye Saint, or however you pronounce that. You can see the little structure right next to the action here. And you see that building right there, that chateau? That is the Hougoumont chateau. But none of the action is going to take place over there. It's going to take place towards La Haye Saint and Papelotte. Okay, so it looks like Spartan 14 has a huge advantage right now. You can see how many troops he has left, and he's starting to get some nice flanking shots on the British troops commanded by Cuff. But Cuff finally managed to break out, so he's going to pretty much make a mad dash further to the rear, and hopefully he doesn't get too many shots from the Prussian army. And here come some of the cuirassiers. I think they're coming to strike those British troops as they have their backs turned to them. But right there, that's Papelotte right there, and he doesn't want to get too close to that with this cav, because this cav is going to take a lot of damage, and they can't attack that structure on horseback. And right there is another team of 6-pounders right there, and this is where Cuff's left flank is anchored. So he did have this little fallback position. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to see how Spartan 14 deals with Cuff retreating to these strongholds. And it looks like Spartan 14 isn't really deterred by advancing forward here, because he has so many troops left over from the initial skirmish that I think he can just overpower Cuff right now at this moment, even though Cuff has command of La Haye Saint and Papelotte. And here's a close-up of La Haye Saint. You can see all those troops inside. But yeah, look at Spartan 14. He's just going to run and charge into that structure here. He's not too worried. That structure is actually commanded by light skirmishers, the riflemen. So in a close-up fight, they're not going to last too long against the German Fusiliers. And it's kind of funny seeing those Fusiliers walk right past those British units. But Cuff is going to see those Prussians running right into that chateau, and he's going to turn his attention towards shooting those guys. But right now it's too late, because the Prussian units are already inside the chateau. And look at the Prussians on the bottom floor. They're trying to phase through the door, but unfortunately this isn't Star Trek. And it looks like Spartan 14 is going to keep pouring on pressure. He's going to he's basically just going to shoot up the left flank here in support of his charge into the chateau. And Cuff's left flank is completely being obliterated right now, and that's because of their low morale. See those blinking white flags? Yeah, they've completely cracked under the Prussian fire. So for the most part, Cuff is down just to his one flank here. And you can see that La Haye Saint now belongs to Prussia, but we're going to watch the Prussians evict the original inhabitants here. So those are the British skirmishers, and look at that guy on the stairs getting choked to death. That is very sweet looking. Alright, so they have taken command of that building, and now they're going to drive onto the remaining British stronghold right there. But because of the good positioning and the non-stop firing from the Prussian troops, you can see like a lot of these British units are starting to break due to their low morale. But Cuff is going to hang on, and he's going to try to defend the Papelotte area here as best as his troops can withstand it. But Spartan 14, he's going to charge into that last remaining stronghold, just like he did with the other stronghold. And now that he has all these troops free, like, it's only a matter of time before the British units pretty much fold here. So we're going to watch this close up here, and you're going to see a lot of sweet action here. But unfortunately, the riflemen don't really stand a chance against Fusiliers in a melee fight like this. But it's still going to be nice to look at in a close up here. And right there's the general. He's right behind the Papelotte structure. And he also has his 6-pounders, but the 6-pounders are getting overrun by by the Prussian Fusiliers. There's like 2 of them left, but those guys should pretty much just surrender. And right there is the general staff of Cuff. They're gonna resist as long as they can. But if you look at the mini map, this is pretty much the end. And let's see. Let's watch more of this close-up action here. You can see right there a rifleman just bit the dust. We're gonna see how this guy does. Oh, he bites the dust too. And that's pretty much the end of the battle. Now they're gonna run into the structure here. But I guess at this point, Cuff surrendered, and that was a very honorable battle. Very nice to watch. Cuff made some mistakes early on with the skirmish phase, but it's a very good battle to watch. Very entertaining. Lots of get some action.